Hello and welcome to another tutorial for Excel users, and here we're continuing to look at Excel functions. The next function we're going to look at is the average function. I'm going to click into cell B12 there and I'm going to create the function manually. Now you'll notice that the function follows the same format as the sum function, so you start as you would any calculation by pressing the equals key. Give the name of the function, and in this case it's average, so simply type out the function. As soon as you begin to type the function, Excel will recognize you doing that and offer you some assistance, and as you see here it tells you not only the name of the function or guesses the name you're trying to type, and also tells you what that function will actually do. And of course, in the case of an average function, which is equivalent to the mean in this case, we add up a range of numbers and then divide by the number of values in that range. So once we've typed the name of the function, we do an open parentheses or open bracket, and what we need to do is simply select the range of values to include in the function. At this stage you could, if you wish, select a second range of numbers, but that isn't applicable here. I'm simply going to close the bracket, close parentheses, and then I'll just press the enter key to complete that function. I'm going to click into C12. This time I'm going to get Excel to guide me through it using a built-in function wizard. And to do that, one way of achieving it is to click on this FX button here, and you notice it says insert function, and I click on that, and what I get is this dialog box. And you'll notice it does have a range of functions, standard ones already to choose from, and average just happens to be the first one there. You've also got sum and others we may be using later on, count and max, I've noticed in that list, for example. You can select a category of functions here, and the average function along with the max, min and count functions are actually all found in the statistical function category. So if I select that, you'll see I get a larger list of functions, but these are all in the statistical function category, and you notice average is there in the list, the second one down. So just click OK, and when you do that you get a second dialog. I'm just going to move this to one side so you can see the cell we're working in, and you'll see I have two number boxes. Again, you have the option of applying additional ranges if you wish to the function. In this case I simply want to select the one range. So to do that I'm going to click into the spreadsheet and just drag down the range of values, and you'll see as I do that, so if I just sort of click and drag up and down, you'll see that the range of values in the selection changes automatically as I select. Once I'm happy that I've got the correct range, release the mouse button. The function argument dialog resizes to its original shape. And before I click OK, I'll just point out that you can actually see the results of the function before you finalize it, so you can go ahead and reselect if you want to do that. So click OK, and there we have the result. For the final average function I'm going to use another option, and that's to go to the Formulas tab. Click on that, and again you'll see we have this section here that's called the function library, and on the left hand side of the toolbar you'll notice we have the insert function, a larger version than the one that's on the formula bar, but does the same thing. We also have AutoSum, and there's a drop down button on AutoSum that gives you access to some of the more common functions, and also an option to go and open that function wizard dialog. You have the most recently used functions here. As I move along you'll see the different types of functions available in Excel, and some of those we'll be looking at in this course. To get to the statistical list I click on More Functions, and it's actually the first option on those additional functions, and I come across and there's average again. So I simply click on that. Again we get the helper dialog. I can click and drag down to select the range of numbers. You should be familiar with that by now. Get a little preview of the answer, click OK once I'm happy, and there we are, there's the result. So as you will see, there are many different ways of achieving the same result. If I go back to the Home tab, you'll probably find for most of what you do, the easy thing to do is simply use the Insert Function button to locate the function that you need, or in the case of the sum function or average or the more common functions, typing it out is probably just as quick. That completes this look at the average function. The next stage in completing this spreadsheet is to complete the functions in rows 13, 14 and 15. So the first of these we'll create is the max function, short for maximum, and we'll type it out manually. So in this case we type out equals max, open the bracket, and again you'll see that Excel has guessed the type of function we're doing, gives us some prompts, and as before I simply select the range of cells I want to include in the function, close parentheses, and this function basically looks down this list and finds the largest value. So if I press the enter key now, you'll see it comes up with 2.5, and if we look at that list you'll see 2.5 does occur more than once, but it is the highest value that features in that list. So if we come across now to C13, I'll do the same function, but I'll use the insert function. So come up to the formula bar, little FX button there to the left, click on that. We get the insert function dialog. Now you'll notice that the most recently used is already active, and if I look in that list you'll see max is there. If however yours doesn't show max, go to the drop down box where it says select category, click on statistical and scroll down to where the M's are. In fact, actually you don't need to do that. If I just press the letter M on my keyboard, you'll see it jumps straight to the M's, and max happens to be the first one, so I simply click OK. And the next dialog wants me to select the range of cells to include, so I'm going to click and drag down, this time in column C, from C3 down to C9, and just click OK. And there we find that the highest value is 12, and again the number 12 does occur twice in that list. Okay, I'm going to leave the third one for now and come down to the min function, and it's literally the opposite of max. So equals min, open parentheses, select the range of values, close parentheses, and this time I'll click on that little tick up there and we get 1.5, and as you may have guessed, min finds the lowest value in the range. So again, come across to C14, use the insert function option this time, so click the FX there, click into the list of functions in my statistical section, press the letter M, and I'm on max at the moment. Just scroll down a bit further and there's min, click OK. I now need to select the range again, so click and drag down to select the range of values, click OK, and again using those two different methods we get the result that we want. And always remember you can just check in the formula bar to see the details of the formula. Obviously you see the actual result on the spreadsheet. And finally here we'll complete the count function, and again this time I can type it out manually, equals count, open the bracket there, click and drag down the range, close parentheses or bracket as I like to say, press enter, and it tells me that there are 7 values in that list. I'll do the same thing in the rentals column, and once more use the insert function option there, and this time we're looking for count. It is in the statistical list, so just click in that list there, press the letter C this time, and if I scroll down a little bit further we will find count appears. There we are. Select that function, click OK, and it follows the same process as all the functions. We simply select the range of values that we want to include. Excel automatically puts the brackets around for us. Click OK, and again we have the result there. Coincidentally, it's the same obviously because each of these columns has 7 values. So there we are. So we've completed those last 3 functions fairly quickly. Max or maximum, min or minimum, and count, which simply counts the number of values. Now finally I want to complete the entries in the last 3 cells there, and to do that I'm going to select the ones I have in column C, so cells C13 to C15, just put the mouse pointer at the bottom right there and then drag across, and it effectively duplicates those 3 functions into column D, but using the relative cell referencing updates the formulas to include the D column values as opposed to the C column values. So that's the benefit of Excel, is that you can create one set of formulas and simply copy across a set of columns or set of rows and save you an awful lot of time. That completes this first look at Excel functions. Hope you found something useful there. In the next tutorial we're going to start looking at formatting spreadsheets. So thank you for watching this one and see you next time.